Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing okay. I know this has been a very intense time now. If you are dealing with, illness and, the world, so much is happening right now. I hope that you are finding this at a time where you can take a breath and just relax. Just realized, this is actually the day I had the first date with my husband like 11 years ago. Also, this is the time after diagnosis 2 years ago that I was getting my head around being diagnosed with ALS. I've had comments on my first video recently with people that are newly diagnosed or people that are still concerned about ALS. When you first get diagnosed, it is truly a mind bend. I could say a mind, probably not a pleasant word, but you really have to, it stuns you. I mean, you don't think, we all have this, it's going to be in the future. Oh, this is what I'd like to do. And not many of us live a life of no regrets from the get-go, right? So it's really getting your idea around the disease. And ALS is a horrible one. There are people that have health anxiety because Dr. Google does mention ALS when you have cramps or other symptoms, but it's more likely for most it will be something else. Those of us that do have ALS, it's a horrible disease. I mean, I'm very blessed that I am progressing slowly, but it's taken over the past 2 years, once I got my head together, went into doing the meditations, which I have a history of meditation, and, I have a strong faith, and there's people that don't, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't make you a lesser or greater person either which way. Buddhist philosophy has always held, found a peace with me, and I think it helps me be a better Christian. But I know people that have no faith, and they are wonderful people too. So I can't say, anything. It's dealing with your mortality is one thing that, around the world our cultures are afraid of. We don't talk about death. It's something that we push off, and when you get faced with a terminal disease that does not take who you are on the inside, but it takes your ability to work, takes your ability to walk, takes your ability to talk, and eventually takes your ability to breathe. It's inordinately hard to get your mind around it. And setting up the healthcare, it took me nearly 2 years, thanks to the pandemic. I mean, those of us that got diagnosed right before the pandemic have had a whole new, different set of parameters. But in the US, thankfully, if you first get diagnosed with ALS, you'll be automatically eligible to start once you get the paperwork done, and I got audited with mine. So make sure you keep all your T's crossed, all your I's dotted, and keep records of every test that you have had. So if something comes up, you can say, okay, pull that. There's a lag time between requesting healthcare information to be sent to places. So, but people can, get onto Social Security, get onto Medicare at that point. Which is, once they get approved, I mean, that cuts down a lot. Now, I was lucky for when I got diagnosed in August and confirmed ALS in October of 2019, that I had the short-term and long-term disability. I still, for the next, I guess, until this coming March, I'll still get like a little sum, which would have covered if I was waiting like a traditional person that's disabled has to wait. It's usually 2 years for somebody without ALS to wait for getting on Social Security if they have something that will qualify. So if you are in the US and you have this disease, it's known as the compassionate allowance. So it's a wonderful thing. But once, I was dealing with all the paperwork, making sure that everything was connected between insurance companies and Social Security. I still have little headaches with Social Security. Just got a letter yesterday saying that my husband who works is now getting half my minor daughter's Social Security benefit, and it's like, why? They did that once, and it doesn't make any sense. So I've got to go through dealing with Social Security again. So it's just always interesting. Just always keep records. I actually started a binder with all the records. I have a binder with my PTOT recommendations and all the ALS stuff that I can bring with me. And I also have a binder of all the medical records and bills and such, so there's proof. And I also have a binder for being the fiduciary for my daughter's account while I can still do things. So I keep all the receipts for what I spend on her. I'm blessed. I really am blessed. I had about 25 years of working before I got diagnosed, so at least I had that. So when you have, those of you that are newly diagnosed now, in this midst of the pandemic, it's a little more difficult to get the things you may need. I think it was a blessing for me because it was hard. It was really hard waiting for everything to fall into place. My power chair was delayed for almost a year and a half because Medicare rejected. This happened, that happened, this doctor had to do that. That doctor kept not putting it right, had to get to another doctor, and then it finally got put in right and I got it. My husband had the ramp, we got that taken care of. So it's nice. When I can be out of it, I know it's, for me now, using the power chair is more for energy conservation. I just know that I will come to a point where I have to be in it. So while I can still move and be out of it, I try, So, just finding yourself, because when life gets us busy and we always have this and that and, 1,000 different things, this responsibility, that responsibility, this and that, always, I think ALS is known as the nice person disease. A lot of us that have ALS have, carried a lot and done a lot for other people. And it's kind of harder to turn that back around and look at self-care. So, I've really tried to, go in deep and be okay myself. It's like the meditation and prayer has really helped. I know some people that have other issues may read great literature, they may listen to music, they may take walks, they may do things, and that's just as valid. So, talking to people, recently we went and I did the Hope at Home, so I made a legacy video for my daughters and my husband, and they sent a lovely picture frame with my family in it, which was really sweet. Inheritance of Hope is a wonderful program. I know I've said it multiple times, but I can't say it enough. But, seeing that played back, it's hard. It's like beginning of this year, it was after Christmas, I started the Story Worth. It's like I saw advertisements on Facebook, and it's still, I find, even though I am okay with mortality, it's still harder to, lean into that. It's, I still have things I want to do. So I need to start catching up, because I think that would be a lovely Christmas present, all these different things, you know. Doesn't that sound so, it's not egotistical, but it'll be a nice resource, you know, for my older daughter, my granddaughter, any other grandchildren I may have, and for my little one. So, you know, it's just kind of thinking about those relationships and having open conversations about it. You know, not shoving it down, you know, here, we're dealing with this, but it becomes a part of life. So the ALS, you'll never always know exactly what'll happen, because you'll be doing okay, thinking you're okay, and then something else changes. I definitely have no appetite now. You know, I've started to lose weight. The past month and a half, I've lost 15 pounds, even though I'm eating. And, you know, I've been warned that when you start losing weight, the disease can worsen. So, you know, having some extra ice cream and some extra insulin. You know, just trying to keep making sure I eat enough, because my appetite's gone away. You know, I found if you are a person with ALS, or you're a caregiver of someone with ALS, there's these Belvitas. It's these little breakfast nutritional bars, if you're able to chew. And if not, there's, you know, Miralax works great. You just have to make sure, talk to your doctor and your healthcare team. But also, if you take something like that, hydration is really important for bowel movements. But I've taken the Belvita, and it really keeps things nice and regular. You know, I hadn't realized people with ALS have constipation problems. I hadn't realized that that was starting to creep up on me, but, you know, those breakfast bars help. Nice little snack. You know, just spending time with friends. You know, I found that, you know, attending classes, you know, to be the, you know, I'm a 200-hour certified meditation teacher in the yoga tradition. I'm in a 300-hour class that will make me a 500-hour. I'm also, a good friend of mine has gotten me, I'm going to do a CEB, which is through a Lama for the, supported by the Dalai Lama, which is really cool. So, you know, it's going to be in it, and I'm also doing a mindfulness training, so I'll have that certification too. If it doesn't actually do anything, I'm just glad that I'm doing it. I mean, challenging the brain. You know, being C9orf72, there's always the concern with memory stuff and personality. So I haven't lost my personality yet, but I have been calmer. So stress reduction is important when you get diagnosed with ALS. You know, your life changes, and life changes can be inordinately stressful. Sometimes you have to move. Stairs, for me, were a no-go. My balance issues makes it more difficult. And, you know, the stiffness I have. So, you know, it's like in ALS, on average, each day you're not hurting. It's not, you know, a painful disease. Yes, cramps hurt. Vacillations don't. Spasticity, which I'm more predominantly upper motor neuron, and I have some lower motor neuron, which is the diagnosis of ALS. But I have a lot of spasticity. And if you push it, you know, sometimes you feel so good, you're resting, you're eating well, you're doing okay. You go out and me with being in Texas with the heat, it affects me. But going out and doing a bunch, and then, you know, you suffer with spasticity. And like I've said before, my doctor was like, no duh. It's like, yeah, seriously. So that hurts. But it's not like, it can be painful, but it's not always painful. You know, when people get further along into the disease, when they're immobile, not being able to move and having those symptoms are probably more painful. And fortunately, around the world, we're having problems with addiction. The US, the DEA is very strict on medications for pain. It makes it a difficult situation. So I do gentle yoga, not any of the positions that require a lot of balance, because I'm trying to avoid falls. So during this time, I've kind of made sure that I focused on taking care of myself. I put myself in counseling. No shame in it. Dealing with things, I believe that making sure that you are okay here is important. Dealing with things, issues that I've gone through with my life, and really taking things apart. And, with prayer and meditation, I've really put myself back to who I really am. And that's totally fine. I've had more issues lately with sleep, irregular sleep. I'm not having any real shortness of breath when I don't push myself too hard. If I do, I do get a little short of breath, and it's just that. What else has been going on? I don't know. I have a beautiful little granddaughter that's really, even my daughter and I do FaceTime. And I get to see her, so she's, sees me through that, which is great. Just spending time. I'm trying to teach my 9-year-old. We had a lesson on, taking clothes out of the washer, putting them in the dryer, and turning the dryer on with a dryer sheet, and getting the towels and washing towels, and I'm trying to get the little things I can in now for her, so hopefully before anything major happens, so she understands it. It's like she joined the Girl Scouts and she really enjoyed that. It's just kind of something like this winter they're going to have, I live in Texas. It doesn't get extremely cold usually during the winter, and it's like, parent, I know that with my energy levels, I don't think I can actually do that, and that's kind of one of the harder things. It's like, they had, where you can stay, and there's a bunch of stairs, and it's like, yeah, I can't do that. Hey, just being honest, it's like, I would love to do things, but, I think my exhaustion would get me, and that's hard. So reaching out to some aunts and see if they can attend it with her. And that's kind of like, no matter what, I'm her mother, and I will always be her mother. It's just stepping back and allowing other people to participate in her life, I think is going to be a good thing, because that's going to give her that base. Things like, it's her little best friend in 4th grade. It's so cute. Her mother's involved with this, and her best friend is, and I think just setting with good friends is an important thing. I've set her up because she's artistic to do art classes, and that's something that she does, and that's a way she can express. For me, I do some art. I can't, my hands are weaker, so I can't quite get the strokes of the brush that I love as much. That skill has gone down. So, I do a lot of other little things, it's that kind of fun. So that's what's been going on. I've been talking to a lot of people. I've been doing some meditations, writing some meditations. I'm waiting till I get, I'm on Social Security disability, so it's going to be a little bit, but I'm waiting to get insurance is a meditation teacher, which I think I'll call myself a meditation facilitator, and I have a really exciting breathwork course that I interviewed for, and I hope to get into a February class, and that's really cool. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like, what did you do? I retired as a nurse, and I feel like I did everything I could. I helped, and I was witness to so many people that have gone through different phases of life, people that died, family members that died, people that were in the ER, people in the ICUs, telemetry, all that, IMCU, everywhere I worked. I even did pediatrics for a while. But, I think that has helped me with realizing and understanding the process I'm going through. It has given me, I guess, a greater knowledge of it, and the realization that, I got to keep going. You know, I don't know when it'll stop, and eventually it will. But yeah, I'm dying. And you know what? The day you're born, you keep going until you die. You know, we all have terminal illness or something terminal. It's called life. Now, I know that my time's going to come sooner, as most people with ALS know. Some people get angry at it. You know, some people aren't ready to face that, and that's okay. If you're having a hard time with it, talk to your doctor and your healthcare team and see if you can, you know, even if you're in the ALS Association, I know around the world there's other organizations for MND, you know, being able to talk with it to other people. And if you need it, counseling is not a bad thing. You know, being able to talk to somebody that's not a family member, not putting that heavy weight on them, but being able to get that out can sometimes help. So, but, you know, it's like, I am so thankful that I have a wide breadth of friends, and of course for my family. You know, it's been really interesting, you know, listening to other people's, you know, life stories and what's going on with them, and, you know, being active. I mean, that's really kind of fun. I have a little community that's not sick. It's a gnat. Been having the worst gnat problem in Texas. You know, you go to the grocery store or get your groceries delivered, and it seems like gnats are everywhere. Yeah. Oh, you know, sorry, I just can't stand things that are going around my face. I don't know. So just this fall, you know, it's kind of like it's still hot as Hades here. I know places that have gotten the hurricanes are drying out and getting things put together. You know, people with the fires. Ugh. We've had quite the thing. I mean, you know, things are happening across the world. I got my, I'm immunocompromised. I have other comorbidities, and I have ALS. I had whatever that was. The last time I got sick, you know, you don't realize you can be okay, you feel okay, you know, in your body you feel okay, and, you know, but you know you're weaker. You catch something, and oh my Lord, having a respiratory illness when you have ALS is a huge change. It makes it so much harder to do. So much harder. You get exhausted easier, you know, even though I'm doing the pranayamas, the breath work, which I'm sure is strengthen things, and knowing, but testing I'm still doing pretty good, except when I'm flat. That's not as great. But, you know, I'm still doing pretty good. It's just even getting sick, it's a struggle. So I happen to qualify in the United States, having Pfizer. I had my 3rd vaccine. It was 6 months since. So I'm still alive. I don't have any extra arms that I see. No pain, you know, I don't react to it terribly. I'm sure tomorrow my arm will be a little sore, but that'll go away. I was trying to get the strong flu shot, but apparently you had to be age 65 for that. And pharmacy was very strict on that. And it's like, well, I really don't want the flu. And since, you know, being immunocompromised, I don't have anything that would worry. It's just, it seems like my white cells aren't as strong as they were. So, yeah, my little one was using my computer, and I'm in my computer room / guest room. And 9-year-olds can be just blah. Nutella, open jar, this, that. It's like, I'm trying to teach her how to do it, but some kids can just do things. I know it's the age, and I know it's that little Roblox kids play. So she's grounded for Roblox. I made her mop. Yeah, well, not terribly, just a little area. Yeah, trying to teach. You got to do it. So that's what's going on. I'm, you know, percolating. Got on Fiverr. It's amazing on Fiverr what you can have done. You can have someone write your bio. You can have somebody create business stuff. You know, like the graphics and all that. I've done all that. I'm waiting for the insurance. Apparently being a retired nurse can be a little little bit more dangerous. I hate to think about it. You know, the United States is very litigious. You know, it's like, and if you can't tell by watching my videos, I'm kind of one of those people that just go straight in. See, did you see it? And I would hate for somebody to have a problem. So I have some friends that are like, being in the healthcare, you know, I have friends that are physicians, nurses, social workers, licensed counselors, lawyers. I've got a lot of, the lawyers are just my family members, old friends, new friends, you know, it's just got all my waivers written. Isn't that terrible? But you have to think about that. I mean, it's just like, ooh. So got that and get the insurance and try to find a, for my group here that, you know, that I'm going to get running. Currently not charging anything, but you know, we'll see. I have to be careful because I'm on disability. So yeah, like it would be that great. You can always dream, right? So make sure that I have, if somebody's having trouble, have someone to refer them to. So thinking around, outside the box and around the box. But I'm really enjoying the learning process. I'm really enjoying the community and the opportunities. I mean, there's so many ways to grow. Yeah, you might be in a terminal disease, but it doesn't stop you from growing different parts of your personality or different skills. You can definitely do that. I mean, the last day you learn, the last moment you're learning is the day you stop breathing. So I like to bring the challenge. And I think that in a time of a pandemic where we've all kind of, those of us with ALS, haven't been out in the public, going everywhere, there's concerns. You know, this has been a way that I have kept on living. You know, it's like being a extrovert in the time of a pandemic and not being able to go everywhere. This has really helped me. So that's what's going on. I've been talking to a lot of people. You know, hey, I'm talking to you, and I'm so glad you're here. So that's what's been going on. I just, you know, got everything ready for my daughter. She's got, you know, school started. She's doing okay. There's been some kids. You know, I got her the little can N95s, and so 2 kids in her class got COVID, and so far, no illness. I'm giving her, per her pediatrician, vitamin D and B vitamins and vitamin C, and her ADHD medicine, which is, you know, doctor prescribed. And that seems to be, she's making her spelling test, she made 104, and she's dyslexic. So, yeah, good things can happen, right? So, between the Girl Scouts, between, you know, school and other things, I'm doing a event this weekend with neurodynamic breathwork. It's a group out of California, and they're doing a free breathing breathwork meditation thing to help send out positivity to the world, which I think is cool. You know, I'm Catholic, so my parish, I would say I'm a Buddhist Christian, but my parish is turning 50 this time, so it's like I haven't been out. I don't know. I mean, there's just so many people. We're in Texas. I mean, yeah, if you've heard, you know, Texas, yeah. Hard to be a woman here, but you know, the kids aren't, and teachers aren't required to wear masks. I've stopped going inside most grocery stores because, you know, it's 50% mask, and, you know, I just don't want to be exposed. Not that I'm afraid that I would do anything. I'm vaccinated. I just don't want to get sick. You know, just having my daughter spend time with her friend that was in daycare, I got really sick, and I really don't want to do that again. You know, it's like you don't want to put yourself in a situation that weakens you more. You know, we all get sick. We all can catch something. It'll be a time where it becomes endemic and we just catch a common cold, and it'll be that. It's going to take some time, but it'll switch out to that. It's just, as much as I can, I want to stay safe at this time. So, trying not to go everywhere. I'm missing live music a lot. I've been listening to the Dave Matthews Band on the XM Sirius channel. So every Friday night I get a concert. I can't imagine. Can you imagine? I mean, it's like after all of this, getting out in like major public and sitting next to so many people in a concert, it's like you think about it. It's like it used to be, yeah, I'd be right up there and I have no problem, being a little bit weaker. It's like, yeah. And then on top of it being pandemic, it's going to be a little bit, I'll have to do my breathing. So, I don't know. I mean, we traveled and didn't get sick after that, I don't know. I want to do things. I want to go places. I want to be places. I just have to be careful. And currently, I'm in a county that's red. The schools have a COVID-19. I know they could do, you're like, oh, I said it. Don't worry, I'm not monetized. They'll probably warn you because I said the name on it. But, they have a dashboard and it's like, my daughter's class school isn't that much, but like a local high school's got like a line like that. It's like, yeah. I don't know. I'm thankful for Zoom. You think about it, for those of us that have mobility issues, right? The pandemic has been good. I mean, I'm a genetic familial case of ALS. But, and it's an RNA form from C9orf72. So this being an RNA virus, I'm hoping that the science with all of this breaks through to other parts of diseases that are caused by the RNA. It could happen, right? Positive thoughts, it could happen. But things like Zoom, I mean, not just Skype. I did recently Skype with people. But all of the virtual interactions, that's going to keep, I think some of it will stay, and that's going to keep our world a little bit larger. That's cool. So that's what's been going on. I mean, my father-in-law had a heart attack, so that was rough, but he's back home, he's safe. Just had a birthday yesterday. So it's been, a little bit stressful, more for him, poor thing, but he made it out okay. It's difficult in our area because the hospitals are fuller, more of a staffing issue. But everything has been washing out, It's like you can't get too excited if things happen, and, you definitely don't want to get too low, it's like the highs and the lows. You want to kind of stay in the middle. It helps you cope. So he is doing okay. We're going to try to go there this weekend, and I'll find some more German strudel. Buy it, because I'm not going to be rolling it out like that. Besides, I wouldn't want a gnat in it. Oh, I bought this thing on Amazon called the Catchy. It's Katchy. It's like this little infrared light they get attracted to. So it's in a different part of the house, so I'll move it over here. Isn't that nice? I'm just sharing that with you guys. Sorry, it's live. I mean, at least it's not flies. When I lived in West Texas, there were lots of flies. But that's what's going on, just enjoying life, getting things set. It's next week I go to an allergy doctor, which is a good thing because I'm very allergic to ragweed. My whole thoughts with that big allergy thing with the, with the breathing, with the ALS. I want to make sure I don't have any, if I can get things like that controlled so it helps that, trying to think ahead of it. So life is good. I'm kind of boring. Sorry, guys, that's just kind of going, just still in school, still learning, just kind of having a peaceful time right now. Well, I hope you're doing okay. I hope everything's going okay in your life. And if it's not, take a breath. Just know that the only thing permanent in life is impermanence. Things change. So it'll eventually keep changing until it's good, right? All right, you guys take care. Find something today, if you can, that's beautiful. You know, it's out there. You might be in a rotten mood, but it's there. Just, you know, it takes the ability to find the beauty in the days really help. You stop looking at the cracks, you start looking at the beauty, and all of a sudden things get a little bit better. It sounds silly, but it really does work. All right. Well, you guys take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully more exciting things happen, so I have a more interesting talk next time. No, but thanks for checking this out, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day, night, evening, wherever this finds you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.